Alright guys, I am very excited for today's video because I've searched far and wide on YouTube. I had the same question as the one I'm going to be talking about in today's video, and I only found one video on this topic. So today, as you already know, we're going to be doing a comparison between this shoe right here, the Jordan 4 Pine Green Nike SB collab, which has been breaking the internet lately all across the board, and overall is by far and away the most hyped shoe that has dropped in 2023 so far, and we are already about a quarter of the way through, so that is definitely saying something, and that is a big statement. We're going to be taking this shoe, which is the first of its kind, being a Nike SB Jordan 4, and we are going to be comparing it to a conventional Jordan 4 in the seafoam green. It just so happens that these two shoes have a similar color, but that is just a coincidence. That really has nothing to do with the comparison between the regular Jordan 4 and the Nike SB Jordan 4. So without further ado, I'm hyped. Hopefully you guys are hyped as well. Let's jump straight into it. So in our usual fashion, we're going to take a look at the boxes before we jump into the shoes themselves. The Jordan 4 Pine Green SBs come in this glazed, whitish, pistachio colored box. As you guys have already probably seen a million times, it's got the flight on top, similar to the seafoam greens, which also have the flight on top. So if you guys can see it right there, both have flight on top of the box. Alright, so the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to go panel by panel on these shoes and just analyze the details in comparison with one another. So on the lateral side of both of these shoes, as you can see, there is actually a different color blocking going on. On the seafoams on top, the black hits on both the wings holder right here and the midsole are matching. Whereas on the pine green Nike SB Jordan 4s, you can tell that the wings holder is a different color than the midsole color right here. The midsole being the pine green, the wings being the white. So overall, this basically is a more white shoe than a regular Jordan 4. There's many more white accents than what the regular colorway does have accounted for it. But besides that, they do look pretty similar from the side profile. It's really when you start bringing the shoe close to the camera that you guys will be able to tell a difference. So on these pine greens, these materials are all coated in rubber. Now, this could be for skating purposes. This could really just be for the retail being higher and quality being better. No one really knows what Nike is doing with these differences with shoes and why they do what they do. But all I know is that these panels are rubber and they feel very premium compared to the ones on the regular Jordan 4, which are just like a hard plastic and don't really feel like anything special. As far as like the other materials on the shoe, this oil green has a canvas leather upper is what I would describe it as. It does have pretty decent quality, but really nothing to write home about. Whereas on the pine green ones, the leather is very soft. Honestly, this part, like the main part, feels similar to a regular Jordan 4, but the thing that really is different is this part right here. As you can tell, that is a mud guard that doesn't even exist on a regular Jordan 4. On a regular Jordan 4, it's just all uniform in that area. The mud guard makes it so that dirt does not accumulate on the shoe when you start skating in them, which I found to be very interesting and a cool detail that was probably pretty well thought out by Nike, if I do say so. On the back, we do have a major difference with these two shoes, if I can get the right one right here. So on the left is the pine greens, and as you can tell, they have a Nike SB logo on them right there, which is very, very cool. We've never seen that on a Jordan 4. On the oil greens, you have just a regular Jumpman, nothing too special, but some Jordan 4s do have Nike Air on the back, which is more similar to this one in terms of placement, but I think that the Nike SB looks very, very clean with that check mark balancing the whole thing out. If we look at both of these shoes from the front profile, there are some slight differences with the mesh pattern below the laces. Obviously you can tell one is black, one is white, but besides that, they look pretty similar from the front right there, as you can see. The lace lock, as we already said, are different materials. If we look at the bottom of both of these shoes, we can tell that the outsole is pretty similar, besides for the back. The back on the pine greens is actually a different material and is designed to enhance grip while skating, as this is a skating shoe at heart because it's an SB. The one other big difference with the shoe that I almost forgot about is this right here. As you can tell, this back heel piece can be bent all the way back on this one, and it is rubber. It doesn't feel flimsy at all. It feels like it's sturdy and it won't bother you when you wear the shoe. Whereas with the oil greens and all other Jordan 4s, this piece feels like it might snap off. It's very harsh, and I've heard many times that people have had trouble with this part digging into their heel and their Achilles area, which is obviously not going to be comfortable. One difference as well that can't be really seen but is definitely there is that the SBs, differently to most SB dunks, they run bigger than the regular Jordan 4s. Of course, you still want to go true to size in this shoe, but there is more space because the air bubble in the front of the shoe is removed. So you're going to feel more flat feeling in the front of your foot as opposed to a regular Jordan 4. And that just makes this toe box roomier because your toes sit lower in the shoe. So you're like kind of more at an angle like this, and it's more comfortable by far than a regular Jordan 4. The other reason why it's more comfortable is because of this inner padding. As you can tell, there's substantially more padding on the inside of the shoe compared to the pine greens right here. As you can see, there is more padding, and that is because it's a skating shoe that is designed to be comfortable enough to skate in. You don't want to skate in some ankle breakers because then you'll end up getting hurt. So that is why the tongue as well as the heel is very padded. The whole inside of the shoe rather is very padded on the SBs. With that being said, those are the main differences. Do I think that it's worth the retail bump of $15? Absolutely. I think the pine green SBs are a much superior shoe to the oil greens, and if you ask me about resale, I think these are still too high to warrant purchasing because they are going for around $400, which is a lot of money for a Jordan 4 in my opinion, something that isn't the most wearable. But with that being said, it's a fire shoe. Some people are calling it sneaker of the year. I would be kind of surprised if that was the case, but listen, crazier things have happened. With that being said, I'm going to end it off here. Hope you enjoyed and found this helpful. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all later.